end of our beautiful, wonderful tour Amanjot had organised. So a bit about myself. My name is Samantha. I have another name which I can never say.
Anand Namjot.
There you go. Anand Namjot. This is the end of our sort of last day of being in the south. We started off in the north. It's been, well, if I go back to how sort of coming to India, I had reservations and fears of coming here, because you hear about foods, and being I have a fish allergy, I was very concerned about coming to India because I thought, medical stuff and having a fish reaction, anaphylactic fish reaction, I would be, I suppose, more at risk. Had none of that, which has been good. So that was my sort of fear. And when I booked it, I thought I knew that my calling was to come to India, and I had to be here February, March time. I knew that. I looked around, thought, no, I'll put it off. I'll go in November. With my husband, Mark, and sort of like, no, had to be sort of now. And Amanjot's, sort of tour came up, ideal, bit of yoga, but going to the sacred places, which I knew that I had to visit the sacred places. I knew that we had to go and experience what everybody else experienced, to feel. I'm a person of feeling. I do energy healing, and I needed to go to these places. The three of us. I knew the power of three would be very significant to do that. Each alongside each other to sort of to do on that journey. For me, the first place was the River Ganges. I actually felt there's an exchange of from both sides of healing, going towards to the Ganges and back to me. But just experiencing India as being magical wasn't what I thought it would be. When you sort of talk about India, it's sort of like, I'm going to get jelly belly. I'm going to get eaten alive by mozzies. And I was, obviously for me, I was like, do I have all these immunisations done? Because my daughter came 10 years ago with her school trip. She had all the immunisations, and I felt really bad that I made her have all these immunisations. Rabies, Japanese encephalitis, she had all of that. But she was tracking and going to places that we haven't been on there. So I then thought, no, I'm going to do it homeopathically, which is what I've done, I was worried about getting bitten because I've been into Florence and other countries and practically been eaten alive, and obviously there's a greater risk here, but we are here during sort of just coming into springtime, which is lovely. The weather's a lot hotter down here. It's quite sweaty sort of thing. It's sort of mid-30s sort of thing, but pleasantly lovely. I was worrying about what to pack, what to bring. I bought half a suitcase of medical stuff, just in case. Yes, so I will gift that. And my clothes I've been shedding as I've been coming, sort of leaving in certain places, stuff that I could sort of leave, some old T-shirts because I thought it's sort of done sort of on that side. I'm from the UK, I'm from England, Irish descent, as you can probably sort of see. Happily married, living in the Cotswolds, recently moved there. My husband, had two girls, Chantal and Shania, and son, Jack, from Mark's sort of son, which is lovely, and grandchildren as well, which is beautiful grandchildren, 3 grandchildren, which is amazing. So any questions you want to go through to direct me?
Yes, please. So, maybe I should ask you about how did you find the local pharmacy?
Well, when we went in, Rishikesh, was that the one where...
and the one at the airport.
Where Ruth got her stuff. Yes, because she forgot her tablets for her thyroid. She was able to get her tablets, here you go, instantly. And it was
no prescription.
Yeah, no prescription, which is amazing. I didn't need anything because, as I said before, I bought everything, every pharmaceutical need that I needed and could think of for my stomach, obviously all in case I have a reaction for the anaphylactic stuff on there. So Ruth was able to get her stuff. And we also, at the pharmacy at the airport, we were able to get other stuff which I won't talk about. Stuff that was
can't get.
No, you can't get. It's very interesting sort of thing, and they're very, very helpful. On there, and a lot of the ancient herbs and things like that. I was very interested in sort of finding out about more of that. So if anyone ever had a problem, you obviously packed half a suitcase of stuff like I did, overpacked for every eventuality, then there's obviously the pharmaceutical needs are there to help. And as I say with the hotels, they would go and get you whatever. Everyone's over accommodating on that side of things.
So what did you enjoy the most during the trip?
For me, it's the connecting with the people and places. You cannot put into words the feeling of it. I can't put into words the feeling of connecting, the exchange of sincere, pure, heartfelt smiles, of going around, eye contact, of meeting, going to the sacred places, of being welcomed in, as a oneness, feeling that you're part of, other countries you'd probably stand out very much as a visiting person, foreigner. Here, there's none of that. You're feeling, you can't explain it. I can't put the words into it of how you're actually sort of feeling at one, being part of India. The magical side of it. I never thought I'd sort of do that because I had all those fears, that blocks, those restrictions. And when I booked, to come on your tour, which I was obviously, because I liked the yoga, I didn't want to particularly go on a yoga tour. I didn't want to go to a place where just doing yoga. It's a bit like people who go on business and they're going on airplane, hotel, back again. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to experience the yoga, but for me, experience life, absorb, which is what we've done. So
authentically,
yes, exactly.
Be immersed into the real life of India.
Yeah, experience that for myself. That you can't read about it, you can't sort of go on. So I experienced all of that more, and I'm still sort of overwhelmed with so much of it, especially last night. Everything is just like, oh, I've still been absorbing it. So for me, the people, meeting people, the feelings of the places, because obviously you're feeling the energy, the knowing, and as I sort of said before, the River Ganges, just at the point of where we were, so not further down because we're at the point where it comes through just the mountains, so it's very pure and very clear. And the day that we went I couldn't ask for a better day because we went the day before, very windy, sort of a lot colder, and the day was just extremely magical. You could feel music playing. It was just, you can see from your earlier posts of what it is. So.
Thank you. What was your least favourite experience?
There hasn't been. I'd probably like to sort of said originally would probably be I was worrying about the toilets and things like that from a feminine point of view. The toilets have been clean. Yes, I was a bit like, oh, there's a hole in the ground. Some of them I go into the European toilets. It's actually experience. It's actually quite good. Sort of. There hasn't been any least points of it because I always look at, I know that you and Ruth, the other person, were sort of talking about some of the things that had happened, to myself, sort of. But I've always looked at it through. It's just, that's it. Someone else might have gone, oh, this has happened, I don't know, sort of like the clothes weren't, I'd ordered some clothes, they weren't made correctly, so it's fine. I'm not, it's just not gone, oh, they haven't treated me well, or, it's not, given me the care and attention. I just think it's fine, that's, it's meant to be. That's how I look at it.
Okay, thank you. Did you have any preconceived ideas, and were any of them broken?
Well, that's what I was saying right at the beginning. You do have preconceived ideas because you hear the media and everything about how India's going to be, and when you are going on very much touristy trail of going around, those preconceived ideas, I suppose, are ticked off. You're going to be there. We went to many places that were outside of those touristy places. We were going to temples and sacred places that haven't seen outsiders, sort of thing. We were welcomed in and treated almost like VIPs in a non-egotistic way, sort of thing, and very welcomed into those places. I'm very lucky. We stood, body to body for 3.5 hours in a place that I never thought I'd be able to stand up for that long. But it was just absorbing that and everybody there and going on that journey with everybody. We needed to do that. So there's no preconceived ideas because I came with an open mind, an open heart. Once I'd let go of the resistance of, what have I done? Because I'm stepping outside my comfort zone and coming to a place that, you know, and you made me feel, we spoke about this earlier, you made me feel I could be myself, to be safe, to be myself. And I knew that I was going to be safe. I never knew that, you know, that obviously there is danger whichever country you go to, even being at home. I never felt any of that. And obviously for me, I didn't have the fear. I did to start with about the fish, and I thought, no, just put that out of your mind, you know, because that was a big limiting fear or reality that for me to travel, you know, to go somewhere because of the fish and anaphylaxis. But I just put that out, thought, no, I'll be fine. And I have been. Touch wood. No, I have been.
Wonderful. What are you taking away from this trip?
Well, as we said, we're taking away a connection that, you know, the three of us have. The power of three. I saw a card walking along the path and it just showed you a playing card to further cement the power of three. You know, on there, just on my path, someone's dropped this card, you know, there, another sort of sign. There's a lot of things, as I said, I need to reflect upon. But, you know, for other people who'd want to come onto your sort of like your trips and things that you do, and it's not me being, I'm not a salesperson, I would highly recommend it because you'll get out of it, you know, what we got out of it. You know, if you come in open-minded, then you will see the wonder and beauty of it, you know, to reflect upon it. All of my 5D senses have all been, no 5D, sorry, my 5 body senses have all been fully active, as well as obviously subconsciously all my other senses and that. So from an energetic point of view, there's lots of things I suppose have unlocked within inside me that I will further reflect upon, you know. But yeah, sort of even walking around India, I thought it was going to be smelly and horrible. It's been fragrant, you know, the flowers, the sort of the smells, you know, just everything. There's not one bad, and I've got, you know, I'm thinking, well, it's going to be horrible, it's going to be smelly, it's going to be lots of dirt. Yeah, there are some places where you can see a bit of dirt, but nowhere near. I've been to Egypt, and Egypt is far dirtier. And you have to look at it with an open mind, and you know, this is how people are living, and to be able to, it's a privilege and honour to be able to see into this life, you know, to sort of see the magic of India. And India, when you look for it, opens up and you can truly feel and see the magic of it. A lot of the trips we talked about where we went to, you know, sort of sacred places and things, you know, a lot of it we went in and we were feeling so many different emotions, and sometimes we weren't able to feel because we're not ready to process a lot of those emotions of those sites, because it was an overwhelm. Like last night, the overwhelm of the people being there, the energies of feeling everybody's emotions, and we're later, you know, things will then step in and think, oh, that makes sense now, or somebody will say something, think, oh, I understand that now. Like you were researching yesterday about this, and think, totally makes sense. Yeah, what does this mean? Yeah, you know, so we don't understand because it's, you know, this is all new to us, but this is something that has been part of our journey. So we've all walked along, we've journeyed together on this trip, but we're seeing things from different perspectives, from different levels, but we are one. You know, so we're all connecting. My hands are buzzing now as I'm saying that. So yeah, so we're sort of as one. And as I said, I don't normally do YouTube things. I'm very sort of, you know, quiet. I don't speak. But as you said, as the journey's gone along, I've had an opening of the throat chakra sort of thing. I sort of speak more so because I don't talk because of how I suppose things are viewed from what I say. You know, sort of insights that I have, and I have to deliver them in a way that is understood, and some people don't understand because they're not ready to hear or listen.
Yeah. Thank you. So what would you recommend to first-time traveller to India?
What, coming on your trip?
Yeah, coming on my trip.
Well, firstly, don't overpack like I did. I've shedded as I've gone, you know, in many ways.
But you also got more new stuff.
Yes. No, we're not talking about that part. In case my husband's watching. No, there's no shopping. Okay, no. That going to the sari place, that was like a sacred place in its own. You know, going along.
Sari.
Yes, exactly. So that should be definitely on the tour. You know. The fabrics, to see the fabrics and how they made them, and because obviously my daughter Shanae's in fashion designer, and going through, it's just absolutely amazing to immerse and see, you know, the workmanship of it. You know, it's absolutely superb.
And as we were wearing it, everybody were commenting
even though we were wearing it wrong. We put them on, yeah, because you dressed me up, and we sort of trying to see how we layered it and everything, because we went to one of the sacred places. We thought we'd honour by wearing the traditional costume of it, and I chose to wear Chantal's fabric that I bought for Chantal, and it's in blue and green. And I thought there's a place of the Divine Mother, and I thought I'd wear this because it would be something that would be, very much, because she's a mother, very sort of that, and I obviously wore something Chanel, so I'd have the energy of them with me, sort of thing, to go in, so they could share that experience. But yeah, Chanel's, I was walking around with Chantal's sari on, that still had the price label on. This is so proof this is Chantal's, it's meant for Chantal, because I've got the price label, because Chantal's a child, always never took the price labels off her clothes, and I go, oh, is this new? Even now, she still had the label on. So I said, this is meant for you. So we'll give that to her, the sari. Yeah. So, sorry, I've just got into a tangent of everything.
Yeah, everybody appreciated that we were wearing their national dress costume, and they're appreciating the workmanship of that fabric.
They realised that what we were wearing was purely, very special fabric. And we went to a Buddhist temple where the people there actually redressed us, and put us on properly, or the way that they, sort of the people in the south wear, because obviously you wear it differently to the north and south sort of traditions. But yeah, so we sort of did that. But our poor driver, every time we go, oh, we're just going to pop into here just to get something, he'd be like, oh gosh, women, he'd be like an hour later, where,
I've already had 4 cups of tea.
Yeah, but the food also, just to sort of say for me, someone who doesn't eat curry. Don't eat curry. And coming to India was, again, obviously apart from the fish part of it, because I knew that obviously a lot of it would be vegan or vegetarian, so I was going to be vegetarian anyway, sort of coming. And I thought, well, let's, I can't remember what I was going to say now because I got distracted.
About
the food.
Yeah,
the food. There is a slight difference, obviously, from the north to south, which is what we sort of commented on, sort of on there. But zero spice or spice means spice for me, because I eat no spice, and I was just like, oh. But I've obviously been able to, might be slightly slimmer, I don't know, but I've been able to survive. And obviously I've enjoyed the food, for me, better in the south, because more noodles, the rices and everything else, and the garlic naan. I'm eating lots of garlic because my husband can't stand garlic, so I've been eating lots, and I'm sure he's been eating lots of fish while I've been away.
So what would you recommend to the newcomers who are coming to India for the first time?
Well, the first thing is come with an open mind and open heart to receive, because you won't receive if you have these blockages on there, and let go of these preconceived ideas of India, which is what I had to do, because you do have all these, I'm going to get ill, I'm going to get this, and I didn't. Sinead had sort of done her trip, which was a lot different, seeing it through an eyes of a child sort of thing, because she was 17 at the time. But it's, I just come open-minded and just go with the flow, and you sort of had it all planned out of where we were going, and just like, okay, where are we going? Because I hadn't researched anything. I had researched the well, because obviously we did the well, and for me to do the 84 steps of the well, which is what, if someone's then looking at it, I was a bit like, oh my gosh, okay, trying to set my mindset into doing these steps, because obviously you're doing the jihad sort of thing of doing that at each step, and obviously people would be able to sort of see that it's not necessary to do that. You do whatever you're guided to do, and whatever you feel you're good to do. And a lot of people sort of there. So you can sort of say it's early in the morning. We've been out on the beach. It's absolutely amazing. This is sort of the ending of the trip. It's been one of transformation, I suppose, and very much of magic, and something. And I hope that I will be able to come back to India, which I'm sure that I will if I get the calling to come back. But yeah, it's just been, so thank you. And as I said to you, it's been quite a journey, so thank you for sorting that out. And as I said, I'm not a salesperson. You have to come and see it yourself. That's your journey, that's your decision to do. But you will feel at one with everybody, which is good. Thank you. You're welcome.